Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bindu, and I ain't gonna hold you up. Let's just get right into the video. Okay, so I have received messages from a few people that have asked me, since my GPA was low, and also like just the fact that I applied 4 times, 4 cycles. We'll say to the actual program that I'm going to, I technically applied 3 times because the first cycle I did not complete the supplemental application. I only completed the CASPA application. So we'll consider me being a 3rd time applicant. So yeah, so people have been like, what do I feel like made me stand out, or how did I get in? And I wanted to just talk about a few things. Am I saying that these are things that you should do? And there's no way for me to be like, yes, this is exactly what it was. Maybe one day. Don't hold me to it. Actually, hold me to it. One day, I think that after school starts, I may actually ask the admissions coordinator what it was, and I'll let you guys know what they say. How about that? So anyways, so yeah, I don't know if this is exactly what got me. And like I said, I'm just telling you what else I feel like I had that I feel helped. The first one, this is actually, I'm not putting this number on here because it's a given, but I just want to make it very clear. It was God. Now, if you on this channel, like, here she go talking about God again, you don't have to subscribe and you ain't gotta keep watching, because as for me and my house, we're gonna serve the Lord, okay? No, but I owe everything to God, period. Everything that I am, everything that I have, this whole journey and process, it was God. So first and foremost, it was God himself and my faith, honey, period. So let's go ahead and put that out there before we get into what's on the list, okay? So the first thing is patient care. I think that I had very diverse patient care experience and a high number of patient care hours. No, I definitely had well over 10,000. It probably would have been closer to maybe 15. I can give you the exact number later. Obviously, I'm 29, and I started working as a CNA when I was 18. So yeah. That should tell you how many hours I probably have. I say so diverse patient care experience. I was a home health aide. So I worked with the geriatric population. I also worked with peds, providing care to kids with special needs. I did inpatient psych, so that was a different experience as well. Float pool, which was every unit in the hospital I have worked in, either as a sitter or staffing the floor. So just about every department. And then I was a clinical research coordinator, which helped. So it was still patient care because I worked directly with the research participants in addition to doing regulatory stuff, which I think that also showed leadership as well. But so that kind of patient care as well, being a clinical research coordinator. I'm including this under here because I also did I volunteered as an intake volunteer at a couple of clinics in the area that provide care to those that are underinsured or uninsured. So I think that helped too. The second is I had shadowing experience. So I shadowed in emergency medicine. I shadowed in primary care. I shadowed in abdominal transplant, which was super cool. Got to see different surgeries. And then I also shadowed in hematology, specifically in the sickle cell clinic. And so I feel like that showed, I know there's some schools that maybe they do require shadowing, but I know a lot of schools say they recommend it, and so I definitely do recommend doing it. And I think that it showed one, that you definitely do understand the role of a PA because you have shadowed PAs, and also you understand their roles within different healthcare settings. The third thing is my GRE. And I said my GRE, taking the GRE. I did not say my score, because I really can't sit up here and be like, I had the highest GRE score, because I didn't. You can choose to report your previous scores or just report the score that you have at that moment. I reported all my scores. I wanted them to see that I done put all this money into this GRE, taking it. What is the GRE? $200, $300, something like that. That I had put this into this GRE multiple times. I retook it, sat through it, had to study for it, had to pay for different methods. And what I will say also is I 10 out of 10 recommend Magoosh. Sometimes they have like specials, so where it's not like crazy expensive, but either way it's way cheaper than taking like a Kaplan course or whatever for the GRE. The ETS obviously has like some practice tests and things on it, but I really do recommend Magoosh. Like the way the lessons and stuff are broken down, the way that everything is explained. They have a lot of practice tests, and I also do think that their tests are harder than the actual GRE. Now, I don't know if I got through all my lessons. You still got to be disciplined. But I definitely do recommend Magoosh. So yeah, I don't know if, like I said, that's one thing that it helped or didn't help, but I definitely showed them. And so I definitely finally got my score to a 300. But it wasn't a 330, 340 or anything like that. And no, I'm not embarrassed to tell you, to say it. Because guess what? I done got accepted. So that's one thing. The fourth thing I would say is my personal statement. And I can do a separate video about this just because I know like whenever I was going to reapply, I kept wondering like, do I need to change my personal statement up? Like what do I need to change? And no, I did not rewrite it from scratch. Again, I could do a separate video about that. But I think that my personal statement, I really did a good job of, you know, showing my compassion and my, you know, love for diverse groups of people, and wanting to, you know, serve underserved and marginalized communities. And I also did address my GPA in the personal statement, and you know, but talked about what else I had to bring to the table, even if I did not have the the highest GPA. The fifth thing is consistency. You're probably like, what? So the goal is to not have to keep reapplying, right? Am I gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm just so happy that I kept reapplying, or you know, whatever? No, it takes time, it takes money, it's a lot. It's an emotional toll on you. It's a lot. But for those of you that, you know, it's not your first time and you are reapplying, schools actually do pay attention to the fact that you reapplied in a good way. Like, so it's showing that you really are committed. You really do want this, that you're putting money into this again to reapply, because you could just give up. Don't give up, but people can't just give up. And the fact that you didn't, people, they actually do pay attention to that. There's a lot of applications that I saw that actually asked, is this your first time applying? Have you applied before? If it's not your first time, like what changed, what experiences, or also like explain that as well. But I do think that there was something about them seeing that like this person is once again applying, and they're serious about this. The sixth thing is, I would say, my interview. So this year, Duke was the only school that I applied to, and it was my only interview in all of the application cycles, which is crazy. So I can't give you a bunch of interview tips, but the only thing that I can say is that I was myself. And there's some people that I was like doing interview prep with and things like that. And you know, I definitely think there's a way like to still be, you know, professional in an interview. But there was, like I said, someone that was telling me just different things that I should stop. So I talk with my hands. You can't really see my hands. You can see them now, but like I had them like down here. But they talked about like how I needed to like sit on my hands because I talk with my hands a little too much. And I mean, let's be real, I am a Black woman, and you know, sometimes people can start to say that you're like too aggressive, or you know, whatever, if I'm moving my head and my neck and you know, all this stuff. So I think when I was like practicing, I was very much like being like this like stoic person, just giving like straight answers and just being like, yes, I want to be a PA because, and like that's not me, so it just comes off as fake. Luckily, I don't really know how to be fake. So during the interview, like everything that like I practiced went out the window. I was definitely using my hands. I was being my like funny self, you know, cracking jokes. I was really just myself and just answering questions from Bindu, not what I feel like somebody wants to hear. I was really just being myself, and at some point I started to feel like, if this school can't handle my personality, I don't think I should be here anyways. So yeah, I feel like I really showed who I am and what I care about in my interview as well, and why I will be an asset to the school. So those are the 6 things that I can think of that maybe set me apart or helped me to get in this cycle. Like I said, there's some things on the list I will make a separate video and go into more details on, but definitely let me know. Comment below if you have any questions, or DM me on Instagram. My Instagram name is Bindu Renee. Yeah, just let me know if you have any other questions that you guys want me to answer and make another video about. And thank you for everyone that has watched any of my videos up to this point, and thank you for watching this one up to this point. I would really appreciate it if you could just subscribe, please. And like this video, give it a thumbs up if you like what I had to say. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.